Today I'm going to be talking about James Lee Burke, mostly, and I'm going to review Robicheaux. This came out in 2019. It's his 28th Dave Robicheaux book. James Lee Burke is very prolific in his writing. He does some other crime fiction with two other families, but I won't get into that. I'm going to talk about the Robicheaux books. Now, I met James Lee Burke. He was born in 1936, and I met him in Scottsdale, Arizona, at a book signing. I shook his hand, took pictures, and I wrote it up for a little magazine. He's really cool. He was driving across country for Dixie City Jam. That was July of 1995. And before I talk about this book, I want to mention, I'll talk about this book first. Okay, so Robicheaux is a recovering alcoholic, and he's a detective, homicide detective for New Iberia Sheriff Department, or Police Department, and spends a lot of time in New Orleans. A lot of recurring characters in this. It's like, going back to Friends. Very violent novel. In fact, about the only crime fiction is pretty violent, but it's almost on the level of Cormac McCarthy violence. And it was a buddy read with Roz at Scalldandling about the books, by the way, and she pointed out that there's a character in here. She didn't make a big deal about it, but it's an interesting fact that the female characters like go to the hospital. There's a woman gets attacked, and that by there's gangs, and then I'm not gonna say mafia, although the mafia, New Orleans NOLA mafia is involved. So a woman gets attacked, and she has to go to the hospital and all that stuff. But the men, when they get brutally beat up and stuff, they either survive or they die, but brutally. But interesting fact. So Robicheaux relapses, and not only in a blackout, he might have murdered somebody, but in a drunken rage, he beats up somebody with a bandana and a half of a pool cue. Minor characters reappear in here. Primarily in the movie business. There's a movie plot in here in Alf. Fair Burke appears in here, who in real life is James Lee Burke's adopted daughter. Now she's a writer in her own right who lives in Portland. But it's not my favorite Robicheaux book, put it that way. The ending was kind of like a James Patterson ending, I thought. What does that mean? That means like a God of the Machine swoops in a way. So my favorite James Lee Burke novels are In the Electric Mist with Confederate Dead and A Stained White Radiance. Those are from 92 and 93 respectively. And his movies have been made into books. Wow. Okay, his books have been made into movies. The first one, I haven't seen, Two for Texas. It was a TV movie in 98. Heaven's Prisoners, which I saw a couple times. It was, book's better, of course. 96 with Alec Baldwin and others. A Stained White Radiance. Or In the Electric Mist with Confederate Dead was made into a movie with Tommy Lee Jones and a lot of other great actors. That was in 2009. And that was a good movie. Now, this one movie called Winter Light from 2015, with starring Chris Christopherson. I'll see that. That's from one of his short stories. So what else can I say about Robicheaux, or James Lee Burke? He's got two new Robicheaux books already out from, and did I write them down? Yeah, a Private Cathedral And coming out this year is the new Iberia Blues. So I'm going to probably buddy read those with my dad, or at least one of them for sure. So that's my talk about James Lee Burke, one of my favorite crime fiction writers. Do yourself a favor, read some Dave Robicheaux books. Okay, and thanks, Roz. It was candy to take our minds off of everything.